You tell stories every day? No, not the kind of stories you share with friends or family, but the ones that run through your mind on an endless loop. The stories that shape how you see yourself, the world, and your place in it. These stories are powerful, more powerful than you realize. They form the foundation of your beliefs, influence your decisions, and ultimately define your life. But here's the thing, not all of these stories are true. Somewhere along the way, you've picked up stories about who you are and what you're capable of, stories that might not be based on facts, but on fear, doubt, or the opinions of others. These stories are like scripts, and you've been playing the role written for you without even knowing it. Maybe you've told yourself, I'm not the type of person who can succeed at this, or people like me don't deserve happiness. The more you repeat these narratives, the more they become your reality. But what if you could change the script? What if you could rewrite the story you've been telling yourself, and in doing so, change your life? You can. And it starts with recognizing that the stories of your past do not bind you. Take a moment to think about the narrative that has guided your life up to this point. What are the key stories you've been telling yourself? Maybe it's the story of the failure who never gets things right, or the story of the unlucky one who always seems to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Maybe it's the story of the victim, stuck in circumstances beyond control, powerless to change. Whatever your story is, it's essential to see it for what it is. A story. A version of events shaped by your experiences and emotions, but not necessarily the truth. Your narrative is malleable. You have the power to revise it. Imagine your life is a book. Until now, you've been writing a chapter that focuses on limitations, what you couldn't do, what went wrong, and why things didn't work out. But what if the next chapter was different? What if you flipped the page and started writing a new story? One where you are the hero rather than the victim, where you are in control rather than at the mercy of life's circumstances. You might be thinking, it's not that easy. You don't know what I've been through. And you're right. Your past may be filled with challenges, painful experiences, or difficult circumstances. But your story isn't just about what happened to you, it's about how you interpret those events and what meaning you give them. For example, let's say you've faced a significant setback, a job loss, a failed relationship, or a missed opportunity. The story you've been telling yourself might sound something like this: I wasn't good enough. I failed. This always happens to me. But what if you rewrote that narrative to say, that setback taught me valuable lessons. It wasn't a reflection of my worth, but an opportunity for growth. I am stronger and better prepared for what comes next. The facts of the situation don't change, but your interpretation of those facts does. And when you change how you see the story, you change how you feel about it and how you respond moving forward. One of the most powerful tools you can use in rewriting your narrative is reframing. Reframing is about shifting your perspective on an event or situation. Instead of what went wrong, you focus on what you learned. Instead of seeing yourself as a victim, you see yourself as someone who has overcome challenges. Instead of being defined by your past, you use it as a stepping stone toward your future. Reframing doesn't mean pretending that everything is perfect or denying the pain you've experienced. It means acknowledging your experiences, but viewing them in a way that empowers you rather than limits you. Here's an exercise you can try. Think of a story you've been telling yourself that holds you back. Please write it down. Be honest with yourself. What's the story? Now step back and ask yourself, is this story serving me? Does it help me grow, or does it keep me stuck? Chances are it's the latter. So take that story and rewrite it. Find the lessons, the strength, and the resilience hidden within it. Turn the narrative from one of defeat to one of empowerment. For example, instead of telling yourself, "I'll never be successful because I've failed too many times," rewrite it to say, "My failures have taught me more than any success ever could. I am more prepared now than ever to achieve what I want." As you rewrite your story, something remarkable happens. You start to see yourself differently. You begin to realize that you are not a passive character in your own life. You are the author. And as the author, you have the power to change the plot's direction. You might not be able to change the events of your past, but you can change the way you interpret them. And when you change your interpretation, you open yourself up to new possibilities. Suddenly, the future looks different. The exact circumstances that once seemed like roadblocks now appear as opportunities for growth. This process of rewriting your narrative isn't a one-time fix. It's an ongoing journey. Every day, you'll encounter moments where the old stories try to creep back in. But now, you'll recognize them for what they are, just stories. And you'll have the tools to rewrite them in a way that empowers you rather than holds you back. So, what story will you choose to tell from now on? Will it be the story of someone who is stuck or someone who is on the growth path? Will it be the story of someone who is defined by their past or someone who is building a better future? Remember, you are the author. You get to decide how the story unfolds.